All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, August 31st, 2020. This morning, we're going to talk some leadership perspective. This morning's topic is the critical importance of discipline. You guys that follow me know this is one of my favorite topics. So let's jump right in.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life. And then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another week. Welcome to the last day of August, and welcome to an episode that will hopefully make you just a little bit more focused on what we're going to talk about this morning, which is discipline. For those of you who follow me, you know that I talk about this one quite a bit. So it is a topic that I'm pretty passionate about and something that I've worked on the last few years here. And, I'm happy to share with you guys kind of the benefits of how, working on this and really improving this area of my life, how it has benefited me personally, my family, my business, everything in my life has had a positive impact from, focusing on improving my discipline. So I want to read you guys a quick definition here. So I looked up, and I would encourage you guys to do this. This is something that I started doing last year. I started really looking up the definitions, the dictionary definitions of words, of the words that we use, because I think that, so often in society and in life, we just use words. We don't really think about the power or the impact of them or exactly what they mean, right? And so discipline, when I looked it up this morning, the definition that we're going to talk about this morning is to train oneself to do something in a controlled and habitual way. Let me read that again. To train oneself to do something in a controlled and habitual way. And so this morning, what I wanted to talk about was just the importance, the critical importance of having discipline in your own life, but especially for those of you guys who are in leadership positions. And all of us are in some sort of leadership position. We're either leading our children, we're leading those around us, we're leading our family, we're leading our friends, we're leading something, right? So everybody is kind of in a leadership position. But for those of you who run businesses, I believe that discipline is the separator that creates massive space between you and your competition. To me, discipline is what has made some people successful in 2020 and others have not had such a good year. I believe that the collective level of discipline within your company or your group or your family will always dictate the outcome that you're able to achieve. So we talked about the definition of discipline, and everybody hopefully understands, what the possibilities if you can work on discipline are. So how do you teach yourself discipline? Well, there's a couple different ways to go about it. And, for me, one of the biggest changes in my life occurred when I completed the 75 Hard program. I'm in the middle of doing that again right now. But completing that program changed my life. No question about it. And it is, by the way, that program is not a fitness program. It is a mental discipline program. I'm going to jump more into that here in a minute. Just want to say good morning to some folks. What's happening? Dayton, Mr. Calloway is on here. Chelsea, good morning to you. Kelly, good morning. Jared, Lydia, Bob, good morning to you. Christina Berry, good morning to you. Christina, I'm going to reach out to you today because I would like to have a conversation that I think is really important for us to have that I am very interested in having. So I'll be messaging you, and I'd love to connect if you have some time over the next couple of days here. Keith Calloway Jr., we got the whole Calloway family on here at 4:30 a.m. West Coast time. Man, nothing like those folks. You guys will get to know them a little bit better, because I already had Mr. Calloway on. I'm gonna drag the son on here soon too. So Keith, stay tuned. I'm gonna call you today. We'll set that up. My wife is on here. Good morning, babe. And Julio, good morning to you from Puerto Rico, my man. So here's what I believe, guys, that discipline is the separator between where you are today and your true potential in life. And those things that you are able to do over and over and over again. So the number of days that you're able to write in your planner and keep yourself organized, the number of days that you are able to say you're going to do something and actually keep your promise, the number of days that you are able to say, I'm going to do it anyway, even though I have every excuse why I could not do it, right? I could make an excuse. Everybody would accept it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it anyway. Discipline is also something that is exercised, much like integrity, when people aren't watching. What is it that you do when people aren't watching? That is discipline. So the 75 Hard program, and I've had people challenge me on this program and say that it's easy, people that haven't attempted it. And I would tell you this: if you think that it's easy, just try to pull it off for 2 weeks. Forget about 75 days. Just try to pull it off for 2 weeks and tell me how easy it is. And for those of you who don't know about that program, Andy Frisella has since written a book about it. So you can actually pick up the book. It's sold out, but I think he's got more copies coming in this week. So you guys will be able to pick up a copy. You'll be able to read about it. And you can go to Andy's podcast. If you just Google 75 Hard, I'm sure it's going to come up and send you all kinds of information about that program. But don't ever underestimate the value of discipline. And so that program is designed to extract that discipline from you. And when you see people that have a hard time, getting ahead, have a hard time making progress and keeping that progress, discipline is what they're missing. Trisha just made a comment, and I will say this. Trisha completed the 75 Hard program. Eli completed the 75 Hard program. I have completed the 75 Hard program. And I honestly believe that makes an enormous difference in our company. To have people in our company who are capable of holding themselves accountable to something that's really difficult, that's really tough to do. I know a lot of people who are pretty disciplined who have never completed that program. I have not completed it many times that I have started. Why is that? That's how difficult it is. When you are exercising discipline, when you are building the muscles of discipline in your body and in your life, you will feel the difference. You will feel in control of your life. Discipline gives you control. Discipline equals freedom is something that Jocko Willink says. And it is 1000% true, because there is never a time in my life at this point that I feel out of control. I have God to make me feel in control. I have my self-discipline that allows me to get back to home base anytime I need to, like that. I can kind of dial myself back in at any moment, but it's because I have practiced the art of discipline for such a long period of time, right? And I'm not perfect at it by no means. Like, there are things that I want to change every single day about, what I do, what behaviors I have, the consistency of certain things in my life. And it's hard to juggle all of this, right? It's hard to juggle family and a business and doing this show every morning and all the things that I've got going on in my life. It's not easy to do. And all of you have the same list. It just may have different things on it, but you have a similar list of all the things that you're juggling. And so I would tell you this, that you learn discipline by exercising your ability to execute, by holding yourself accountable. Ed Milet says it's, that keeping your self-worth is directly connected to your ability to keep promises to yourself. That is also discipline. That is also discipline, because how many of you guys have been around someone who says they're going to do something, but they just never do it? Or they say, like, I have people saying to me, not all the time, but fairly frequently, well, 75 hard, it's easy. They should call it 75 easy. Cool, man. Well, give it a shot. Let me know how it works. So discipline is the difference between where you are today and your true potential in life. What are you actually capable of? What is it that you have been gifted with? What is your gift that is not being shown to the world because you don't have the discipline to make sure that it's being used at its full capacity? Every day, I, at some point, think about something that I heard, again, from Ed Milet years ago. At the 10X conference in Vegas, Ed Milet, part of his speech that he did, he said that he has this vision in his mind that when it's his time to go, that when he meets his maker, he believes that God is going to introduce him to the person that he could have been and should have been had he used his full potential. And he said, I work every single day to make sure that that person is more my identical twin than a complete stranger. Think about that. And for me, I know that the difference between where I am now and where I want to go is discipline. It's mental discipline. It's emotional discipline. It's the discipline of how you deal with other people. It is the discipline of what you're willing to do every single day to get a result that might. Are you willing to do something every day for 2 years? 2 years, 730 days. Are you willing to do that to get the result that you want? Because I promise you this, here's what I've learned since I've been able to exercise the art of discipline, that I realize that we way overestimate what we can do in a day, and we way underestimate what we can do in a year or in 3 months or in 2 years if we just have the discipline to stick to what we say we're going to do. And so the critical importance of discipline is really the difference between the life that you want and the life that you have, because that's what it takes to make improvements. It takes the discipline, and it takes creating discipline in those people around you and helping influence that discipline and encouraging them and telling them to never give up. Ask Trisha what it felt like to finish 75 hard after not completing it a few times. It's a feeling of accomplishment. It's a feeling that you can do anything. You really feel like you can do anything. And so as you train yourself to do those things that you don't want to do, and as you start to figure out that you're capable of far more than you think, and that all these people around you are telling you, slow down, you're working too hard, you're doing too much, you're trying to take on too much. That's not always something good to hear. And so be careful about what you believe that other people tell you. Matt, how do you pivot or modify your disciplines if they're not producing the results? I think, obviously results are the end indicator, right? So you can be disciplined to doing something that doesn't work. And that you have to be careful of that for sure. You always have to be aware. So when I say you want to be disciplined to something, you want to be disciplined, but you also want to be aware of what you're doing. Are you actually making progress? So, an example is, if you're making an activity in your business and you're looking to get a certain end result, then you have to have check-in points with that, right? But you also have to see it through long enough. And so it's a hard thing really, Matt, to put a finger on, because I think that's one of those things that you have to follow your inner compass. You have to know. And so the problem that I see with discipline in today's world is that most people are so used to giving up way too soon that they just automatically think something's not working. So the best advice I would give you, man, is to find someone who has already been successful at what you're doing and model that behavior. Ask them what they have done to get there. Ask them what they would do if they were in your situation, and create a plan, and then work that plan for an extended period of time and see. And you'll start to see the results, but I think a lot of people jump in, try something for 2 weeks or, a month, and you can't really get a result. A lot of the people that I've coached, personally, in Top Contractor School, I teach a specific sales process and in a way that we do things. And, it is not an immediate result. It can slow down your progress immediately, because what we're doing is trying to build a tidal wave of activity and a tidal wave of, customers that see exactly who we are and what we do and how we treat people differently and how we service people differently. So, but it's weaving that into what you're already doing. So my advice is, depending on how it works, I'm giving you a business example. So if you're working something that's like immediate return, like, example would be you're connecting with residential driveway customers, and those are immediate, turns. You got cash flow coming into your business. You can't just shut that off and switch completely to something different. If you do that, you're going to cause yourself some discomfort and possibly some harm. But you can blend the two together, start working this other thing and keep working this, and blend those together and make it work. But again, it's getting advice from those people who have done it, and really using a mentor to help guide you through that. To me, it's the most important thing that you can have, is to have, and it could be multiple mentors. I have several that I rely on for advice, for guidance, for bouncing things off of, all that stuff. So, and I think, Matt, to answer your what is the indicator, for me, it's internal. Like I feel like I have a good, radar of what's working, what's going to work. When you think about something up front and you really take the time to plan it, most of the time you're going to be right. If you're being honest with yourself and you're really, putting yourself out there to say, like, what do I really need to do? How many phone calls do I need to make? How many connections do I need to make? How many times do I need to be, posting on social, whatever the category is of activity. If you are honest with yourself and you really get aggressive and you set a goal that will get you the result, you're going to be right most of the time. But again, having someone outside of your group even to kind of help you establish that, kind of check that is an important piece of it. So, all right, guys. Well, with that said, I hope that you guys understand the critical importance of discipline. I hope that you understand that it can be trained. It is something that 1000% can be implemented into your life. If you're somebody that doesn't have discipline, I'm sure that there's been a day where you thought to yourself, I am more talented than where I am right now. I've had those days where I thought to myself, I'm better than this. I'm better than where I am at this very moment. I'm better than what I'm doing every single day. I'm better than not being organized. I'm better than, not using my time wisely. I'm better than hitting the snooze button. I'm better than whatever it is, right? And what I would encourage you to think about is that can change in an instant. It's all a personal decision from you. It is literally looking in the mirror and saying to yourself, I've had enough. I've had enough of feeling out of control. I've had enough of being disorganized. I've had enough of, constantly feeling like I'm playing catch up. You can take control of your own life, and you can take control of your own discipline. And when you do that, it'll be the greatest gift that you've ever given yourself. And it'll be the greatest gift that you will give those people around you. Because as you become more disciplined, those people around you will aspire to become more disciplined as well. It is 1000% just the way that it works with human beings, right? We gain energy and we gain inspiration from those people who are around us. So think about that. Do it for yourself, but also do it for those people around you, because when you give them control of their own lives, man, they just live a better life. They live a happier life, a more fulfilling life. Their children will live better lives as a result of understanding what they're capable of and what they can do. So, sometimes you learn quite a bit through the process of teaching yourself discipline, of, learning to say yes to way more things instead of saying, no, I don't have time. No, I can't do this because, I can't, I've got this to do tomorrow, so I can't do this today. You get one life, guys. Get one life. So if you find yourself saying no to a lot of things to sit at home and do nothing, I would tell you that, you've got some room to grow in the discipline department. You can find a higher gear. You can always find a way to do more. And, there's still things that I say no to that I don't, want to do, or that I'm too tired to do, or whatever the case is at times. And you have to learn how to balance all of that. But I find myself saying yes a lot more frequently than I did a few years ago. And that has made my life much more fulfilling. It's made it much more happy. I have a lot more people around me that are doing amazing things. And that is what we all are in search of, right? So think about it, guys. Discipline. It is critically important in your life. And if you guys need help in any way, shape, or form to make a change in that area of your life, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. I've been where you've been. I've been where you are. And I can help you. I promise you. So with that said, I hope you guys have an amazing Monday. Wishing you guys a great week. We got some guests coming up for you this week on Morning Perspective. So make sure you're tuning in, because I got some of my friends coming on this week. There's going to be some heavy hitters coming on this show that you guys definitely want to be listening to, hearing their stories, what they're doing. They will be inspirations to you. So as the week goes on here, I'm trying to line up tomorrow morning, and I think I got somebody, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know today. You'll see some preview graphics coming out, things like that for the people that'll be coming up on the show. But I appreciate you guys being here as always, and I will see you tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.